Time for the news review segment. As I mentioned earlier, a lot is happening on the media front. So much to discuss this morning, and so we're going to delve straight into it. Elvis Dakon is here. He's the news editor for the News Center newspaper, as well as newscenter.com. Elvis, good morning. Good to have you.
Good morning.
Right. There's a lot happening, especially within the political front. The NPP is counting down to its presidential primary on January 31, 2026, and all 5 aspirants have hit the ground running, campaigning and canvassing votes across the length and breadth of the country. We're going to look at some of the things that have been said during their campaigns and, of course, have a conversation around them. We'll start off with the camp of Kennedy Ohene Agyapong. He says, let's get connected. And of course, yesterday he spoke and says that he won't accept defeat while counting is ongoing. Elvis, this one, if you know, you know. Kennedy Agyapong says he won't accept defeat while counting is ongoing. We all know who he's referring to.
Well, for me, I don't know the basis for why he's saying that. When counting is going on, it's not the time people are now going to vote. People have voted already. So the counting, I don't know how it's going to change the outcome of the results. And when you talk about counting, every party have their own representatives there. So long as we are a serious party, you have a rep from the polling station to the collation center, and you police the entire process. And mind you, the NPP as a party always, at least from 2013, after the court case, have been able to establish a very robust collation system.
Indeed.
That
ChannelOne.
By the time it's about 10 p.m., midday, or the following day after voting, they already know the final outcome of their votes. And they are clear in their mind whether they've won or they've lost. And as a result of that, within the party hierarchy at the top, they know that they won or they lost at any election. And therefore, if you are the presidential candidate and your internal collation clearly shows that you've lost an election, and you decide that you will not concede unless the Electoral Commission makes the final determination, that is your choice. But you see, you have to look at the mood of the country at the time. Indeed. If the mood of the country shows that once you know that you've lost, but you are refusing to concede, and that creates the impression to your supporters as though you have won or you have any chance,
something untoward
had been done, and there is problem, it can create chaos in this country. Because for your supporters, they will not know that you have lost the election. True. Because they don't have the benefit of getting to know at the top that internal collation has shown that you've lost the election. Yeah. And therefore, when you do not release the result of your internal election, as they did in 2024, because they knew they lost the elections. So they did not do what they did in 2016 or 2020, where once they realized that they've won, they immediately released the results to know that they've won. They didn't do that in 2024 because they realized that they lost the election. The NDC also did not release their own internal collation. And therefore, everybody claiming that they are the winner. Yes. And their supporters started misbehaving. It's important that you prioritize the country. So long as within your internal coalition you know that you've lost. If you consider defeat, I think you help the nation. If you refuse to concede and there's chaos and people get injured, killed, and at the end of the day, Electoral Commission says you've lost, and you knew this and didn't declare it, and it has led to loss of lives or injury, the question, what will be the benefit to the nation? True. What will it be to the benefit for the nation? So for me, I think, considering how the Electoral Commission delays in collating, especially in what we saw in 2024, It's in the best interest of the country for political parties who have done their internal collation to be able to come up and say, look, per our collation, this is what we have. Because they have the pink sheets. And the reason theirs is so fast is that they are not waiting for any confirmation and signature by anybody. Once they have the pink sheet from the polling station, they take screenshots and then they quickly send to their collation centers. So they are able to collect the votes that they've actually garnered before the electoral commission. Because the electoral commission, after both parties have policed the process and after the counting and everything, now everybody who is there in terms of representing political parties now to sign the pink sheet.
Right.
And then when the pink sheet are signed and say polling station A, this is the result. Electoral commission has not done the compilation. Now it has to move to a collation center.
Right.
Now to go and collect the individual pink sheets in each constituency put together in order to be able to determine who really has won.
Right.
Before the electoral commission will do that, for the parties they have done already. So it's normal that a party will really get to know their result long before the electoral commission declares results. And if you look at the time that the Dr. Bawumia conceded the defeat, that was almost like 48 hours after voting. 48 hours after voting before he considered defeat. So obviously, there was nothing that was going to change, whether he had waited or not. But if you look at the tension in the country at the time, if you look at some miscreants in the name of political party going around misbehaving, the concession was the right thing to do. And for me, I think that every political party should develop that culture to say that so long as we have our own internal collation system,
right,
and we have all the pink sheets from our own representative from the polling station, that this is what we signed as the result from each polling station, and you collated and realize that you have lost, there is nothing wrong in letting your supporters know that we fought the fight.
True.
But per our internal collations, this is what has happened to us. It reduces the tension, it protects the country, it gives all of us that hope that our democracy is getting to a point where losers will easily concede. In any serious democracy, that is what happens. Once a candidate realizes that they've lost an election, they don't wait for the electoral authority to come and do the declaration before. They quickly pick a phone and call and concede and say, look, from what has happened so far, we believe that we've lost the election. You are the winner, and let's move on. So for me, we shouldn't prioritize individual egos, needs, and interest over the nation. Because you, the candidate who is at the top, you knew from your internal college that this is the state of the election. This is what has come up. Why is it difficult for you to communicate that to your supporters? That until the electoral commission speak, you will not say. When you know very well that the electoral commission's processes will take a longer time than your internal process. Why is it that you have the information and you think that you have the right to keep it away? You have the right to keep it away from your supporters and keep them apprehensive. I think that if you want to manage your supporters, their emotions and everything, it's better for you to communicate to them early. But if you have the results, your internal collation as a candidate, when they collate, you are the first person that gets to know what is there. You actually are always with them in the collation room to know how things are going. So I find it difficult for anybody to suggest that once you know that you have lost, and every indication shows that there is tension in the country, even your own supporters are getting apprehensive, then you decide that the information you have from your own internal processes, you keep it away from your supporters. Are you being fair to the supporters? Are you being fair to those who really will be apprehensive, thinking that maybe they have won and something is going untoward, that is why the electoral commission is delaying? When you, the candidate, you are very much aware that your own coalition shows that you have lost. I think that we should understand that democracy, in whatever way, one will win, one will lose. And if you know that you've lost, and you can declare early and reduce the tension, people will not get injured, people will not go fighting. Because see, when you don't concede, even though you know you have lost, and your statements and other things create the impression to your supporters as if you are winning, and there is tension, the possibility of the two main party supporters fighting each other, resulting in injury and possible death are high. Because then everybody will say, no, I am winning, this person I'm winning. And then the accusation we all know against the EC that they are trying to rig election for one party or the other can make your supporters even go into fights, which can be avoided once you know that you've lost. You lost. And I think that for me, it's something that everybody must accept in this country, that the parties, NDC has also now proven that they have a very robust collation system.
Yeah.
If you compile your elections, these are results your own party agent took photographs or scanned and sent to you that in police station A where I am, this is what we got. And you, with your collation team, have put your figures together and you realize that you've lost an election. The best thing is to concede so that we reduce the tension. Let your party supporters help them to overcome that rising tension, emotional pain they will have to go through till Electoral Commission declares the election. I think that we can avoid all that. And I think that, for me, I will support the position of early concession in any election once your own internal figure shows that you have lost. So that your supporters will also have that feeling that, well, okay, we have lost. Maybe we'll wait for next one. But then you just keep them in that state of heightened tension because you know you have lost. You have kept it away from them. You won't tell them that you leave them in a limbo, and then you expect that until Electoral Commission declares before you come and concede. Right. In fact, that your concession of the Electoral Commission defeat is waste. It's no longer a concession because then
official
exactly. So then what are you going to concede to?
Very well. Thank you, Elvis. Let me say good morning to the two honorables, Nilante van der Poy, National Coordinator for the District Road Improvement Project, and the Honorable Seth Agyapong, former Emprieso MP in the Eastern Region and former. Gentlemen, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Good morning.
It's good to have you. Good to have you. So we're looking at the political front now. The campaigns are intensifying as the MPP gears towards its presidential primary in January of next year. And we're looking at some of the things that have been said so far. Started off from the camp of Kennedy Agyapong. He says he would not accept defeat while counting is ongoing. He thinks that there should be a bold leader in the race that will wait until the last constituency is counted before, if there is a defeat, same will be accepted. Honorable Agyapong, let me start with you on this.
Thank you very much. But I thought that as people are thanking and walking, you allow us in opposition to lie low and sleep. You're still bringing my matters up like that. In any case, I think democracy is all about choices. So what you believe in is what you go for. I think Kennedy has spoken his mind. That is his belief that he won't do such a thing. Others also speak to the contrary. For me, that makes democracy a wonderful enterprise for Ghana to pursue.
Right.
Because never should it be that it should be my way. It should be our way.
True.
Collectively. And so I don't really put a lot of premium on these matters. What I want to say is that walking around, I've come to realize that people were not happy with our administration because I've gone out and I've spoken to people. I've had opportunity to sit before people, and the way they expressed themselves to me gave me a second thinking that we have to do some evaluation, and re-evaluating our stewardship would help us. One of the reasons why I believe the leadership of our political party is giving some members of the political party the opportunities whoso believes that they would want to lead the new patriotic party should put themselves forward. And as a result of that, they are going around the country where our mandated delegates are and interfacing with them. And I think Kennedy went there and expressed himself the manner we are putting on this table this morning for a discussion. That is Kennedy, and that is how he believes he would want to do it. I think others believe otherwise. For me, the most important thing is that my party becomes so united, and then we will be able to give Ghanaians a new face will be able to give Ghanaians a hope that they've been looking forward for from us. That is where my strength is geared towards. At the end of the day, after 31st of January, the winner is the New Patriotic Party, that I am proudly a member. And so I say that all these campaign messages going around the country, some will promise you heaven, but believe you me, at the end of the day, they may not be able to deliver what they profess to you. What I always call and want, like I repeat myself, one time you gave me the opportunity, I said, I want all of us to tread cautiously,
right,
and make sure that what we are doing, we are able to come and defend ourselves anytime we say something. I'm not able to defend everything that people say, but I'm able to defend what I say.
True.
What I say is that I love unity, and I want some level of stability with our exercise, and that can only come when we are measured in what we are doing. You can only be measured when you have thought of the fellow person, that my actions may not be appreciated by that person. My actions may be liked by that person. All I would want to do, I've heard Kennedy speak some bold initiatives of what he intends doing. I think those should be the matters that he needs to drum home more. I've heard Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia also go around, tell us the things he would do. And I believe in what he says he will do. Likewise, my brother Kwabena Agyapong is also going around telling us how we should also rebuild our party. I also share in similar sentiments. And so I think that going forward, those are the things we should look forward for, things which will rather bond us, bring us together more than divide us. That is my call. Anytime I get opportunity, I want to preach to my people that we require unity to become a force that people will recognize. If we are divided, we will not be the force people are looking for to be the alternative to the administration. And so we have to be mindful of what we do. At this stage, it's competition for some people.
True.
And so they will throw in their best. I, Kwame Agyapong, will not go for that kind of narrative because I believe that I need more unity. Yes, you must speak your mind, but you have to be measured.
Very well.
That's what I'll say. You must speak your mind, but you have to be measured.
Very well. Honorable Van der Poel, I mean, there are concerns that this early concession creates room for some actors in the opponent's camp to take upon themselves some powers to do all sorts of things, all manner of things. In fact, in the just ended elections, there were concerns that Dr. Bawumia conceding early created problems for some NPP MPs in some constituencies. I don't know what your take on this is vis-a-vis what Kennedy Agyapong is saying about not conceding until the last constituency is counted.
Well, thank you very much. Let me take the opportunity of saying good morning to our viewers and to my brothers on the table. First, let me say this. I'm not the one to decide the editorial policy of ChannelOne TV. And I wouldn't want to be your editor to tell you what to do. But seriously speaking, from my experience as a journalist and as a broadcaster, I think this topic shouldn't have been on this table at all because I think it's not necessary.
Really?
Yes. Seriously speaking, it's not necessary because that is somebody's opinion about what he would do and the outcome of an internal elections.
But you see, this is not just an ordinary somebody.
We should look at a much more broader issues. You understand?
But you also don't
What?
At the national level.
It's not internal.
So this is he speaking with the hope that when he becomes flag bearer and goes into the presidential election,
Yeah, not the internal.
he won't concede until the final constituency is counted.
Is that the matter at his disposal at this time? I thought at this time he should be telling delegates what future he has for them as a flag bearer.
But this is among the many things he has said.
Well, that's why I'm saying that sometimes some of these issues are not issues that I want to discuss because people are going round. And I think I want presidential aspirants to be focused. You see, one, there's an election, an internal election. What are the things that you want, like he's saying, what are the things that I have to put before the delegates to know that I will be a good leader to serve them? You understand? That is key. After that, before you go for the national elections. But people are now talking about national issues at internal party elections. You see where the problem is? And as a politician, I believe in what we call campaign register. You must know your target audience. You must know what sort of message you have for them. As of today, who are the target audience of the 5 people?
The delegates.
The delegates. So what are the things that I need to tell the delegates that will let them vote for me? Like he's saying, party development, development of the individual party members, the prospects for them, and all. Those are the things they want to hear. Delegates at this point in time, they are not looking at the national election, they are looking at you. What sort of relationship will you have with them as a candidate?
But doesn't it make a difference campaigning at a time that you just coming on the back of recent election?
You see, that is when you want to look at personalities, individuals, instead of issues. What was that meant for? Baumia considered early. So I will not concede early when I'm your leader. That's all that is meant. So it's a matter of throwing gig at somebody and not focusing on the issues pertaining to how I will become your leader.
Isn't he portraying himself as a more bold leader?
Well, that is what he wants to portray himself. But at the end of it all, it may not sit well with some people who maybe all this while they will have preferred Baumia, but they were looking for the opportunity for you to convince them why they should vote for you and not Baumia.
Right.
You understand? So you don't go to search for her to throw gigs at people, to throw shades at people. You go there to focus on the and you see, delegates in Ashanti region are different from delegates in Greater Accra.
True.
So you have to, before you meet delegates, I'm saying this because of my experience. Do your own SWOT analysis of that particular environment. Look at the issues that pertain to those people. The interest of delegates of the MPP in Greater Accra will not be the same as the interest of delegates from the Eastern region.
True.
You understand? So you go to meet them and you want to relate to their interests and not be throwing shades and picking up issues of people who are, like somebody saying, if I ran education well, if you mess up the economy and you apologize, that's your problem. You understand? Those are not the issues as at now.
Right.
The issues as at now is how to lead a united party, how to make the party credible, how to make the party be in a position that can make it win elections.
True.
Those are the things I will want all the aspirants to be looking at. What makes you different from somebody else? What should inspire confidence in the delegates? Those are the issues I want to talk about. But let me say this. I like the tangent my brother Elvis took, that early concession when you are convinced within your own system.
Exactly.
That, but I want to tell Elvis, he has not contested elections before. Bro. Set to tell you.
It's not that easy.
It's not that easy
to concede.
It's not.
That is when somebody did that, you have to commend the person.
It's not.
Yes.
It's not easy.
That's why when somebody has been able to do it, it should be commendation.
It's not easy. Bro.
When you look at all
It's
the
not easy.
resources that have gone into it.
When I sit back and I look at what happened after the 2024 elections, when we're at Reggie Manuel, number 19, and sitting there and evaluating the results and things were coming, and I look at my boss. As a director of operations, I sat down and looked at it, and I look at my boss, and I could see it's not easy. You may not even have the tongue to speak. So
You mean 2016?
no, 2004 when we lost.
2004
when we
So
lost the
against
election.
President Kufuor.
Yes.
Yes, it wasn't easy. It's easy, you know. And even 2008, after the elections, and we were so sure about winning, and that there is a need for a second round, and all those. It's not easy.
round.
And the third round.
And the
Time.
It's not easy. No, it's not easy. Evers, it's a very, very critical moment in the life of every human being. And where you have to take a decision, not only to satisfy your grassroots, but you yourself sitting down and taking a critical analysis of what will happen after your concession, the next day what will happen. How are you going to look in the faces of your supporters? And what are you going to tell them? How do you inspire confidence in them for you to move forward? All these things are the myriad of problems that you are facing at that time. So just getting up and saying that I'm going to concede and all those things, it's not that easy.
True.
It's a very difficult thing. True. And let me say this: I was one of the people who really commended the former vice president in his early concession at the election, because when it was so obvious. At that time, we have even collated our results. We know, but the point is that he contested as a presidential candidate. In the constituency, the candidate is there. Your MP. At that time, voting has ended. So whoever said his early concession led to a particular candidate losing, I don't understand. I don't understand. And in some, the electoral commission has not made it a rule. In some constituencies, you will have the district electoral office deciding to deal with the presidential results first before the parliamentary. In some areas, they deal with the parliamentary results before the presidential. There's no fast rule about them. There's no rigidity about the way that. So when people are talking about somebody's conceding early and leading to me losing my seat, it means that you have not done your work well. You have not really sat down to do it. Because we have had cause to even complain about members of parliament or parliamentary candidates who, after declaration of their result, abandon the coalition center, and then the presidential elections are attached. That's what we have been talking about. So those who are making those, I don't think they are being truthful or they're being accurate about the facts of our election. So, well, I would say this, depending on how you feel, depending on the environment you find yourself, and depending on your own inner satisfaction, because at the end of it all, it's about you.
True.
Tomorrow, people will judge you according to the action you took at that particular time. And that is where, as a leader, your emotional intelligence becomes very important at that particular stage. How do you feel? How do you react in a situation like that? So it's not easy. I've been through it before. It's not easy. Even when you are winning, it's not easy. You are being asked to go to the collation center but then you are not too convinced about the results.
But see, the process, when the results are collected from the various polling stations at the collation center of the Electoral Commission, we are human. So you'll be surprised that they will feel, because they might be working and they might they would have started working from as early as dawn, where they would distribute election materials. And then they will come and supervise by superintending on the entire exercise during the day. You vote and you go home to sleep. But they continue to work and then stay up and collect all results from the various polling stations and mention them at a collation center before doing declaration. So at a certain point in time, they break because they are human. And you see, in the constituency election, the returning officer is the district electoral officer. However, in the national election, the district officer is not the returning officer, neither the regional officer. It is the EC. The chairperson of the EC is the returning officer. And so they must also work to feed their regional offices, likewise the national office. So there's a lot of burden on them. And sometimes they will, like Neil was saying, after putting together the constituency results, they can decide to hold on and say, let's break, let's go and refreshen up and come back. Even when you know you have won. So that is where the Elvis situation comes in. Once you have your own internal collation systems, you know which direction the election is going. In this day and age, in this country, every political party worth its salt must know by the end of the day where we are headed, because we are all going electronic, and by the electronic system you get feedback as early as possible. And so you would see where your numbers are at the end of the day. Look at the numbers my political party got, and look at the concession which was offered by the leader at the time.
Yes.
Where do we stand? Did it prove that we're going to do more and much better than what we got? That's another conversation for another day. But I believe that where we are as a people, we should re-evaluate all our actions. And that should be in-house. Making it the way we're going about it, I don't approve of it.
Very well. Very well. Let me take a few quick messages and then we'll look at what Brian is saying.
If you have confidence in your internal collation system, you will not say that you will not concede. Because if you say you are not going to concede, it means that you are saying that you don't even trust your own internal collation system. If you can't trust your own, can you trust the electoral commission that you'll be accusing of collaborating with somebody to rig the election? So for me, I think that the safest safeguard we've had so far is for the two main parties to have their own collation system.
Internal collation system.
I think that is the one you can trust most, because for them it's coming from your own party people, and it's your own party people who are doing the counting. So clearly, it's something that and look at the election result for 2024. Look at the mass win for NDC.
Yeah.
180 how many seats against less than 100.
100. Yeah.
And when you concede in that situation, what really is anybody trying to say that with such a massive win?
Me here will tell you.
With such a massive win.
And you are seated in your coalition sector, personal coalition sector, because you have agents. Your agents sent you the results.
Yeah.
By the end of, you know, even before you step out of your coalition center, you know your position.
You know
your position.
You
Because
know.
your
No,
agents,
you don't even get to
your
coalition
agents,
center.
that's what I'm saying.
You
That
know.
is your personal coalition
Yes.
center.
Okay.
And before you step out of that coalition, you know where you stand.
You stand.
Because your people will feed you. You call. What happened that you have you counted?
They are even sending it to
Exactly.
So, for instance, when I stand for elections, by 6:45, 7 p.m.,
you know.
I have close to 80% of my results.
Right.
And
So
I know
you
the
know.
direction at which my candidature is going.
Right.
If I'm winning, I know. If I'm sleeping, I know. So like Nee said, more often than not, you see, what has really not helped our enterprise is the perception and the rumor mongering. People will go and say things that they have no idea. And that this man was leading and he said he was hungry and he went for tea. By the time he returned, he had
With no biscuits.
The figures had changed.
The case of Icicle versus Dr. Ofer.
Steelers.
Dr. Ofer.
You get my point. And this conspiracy theory, it's always been
They went jubilating.
They went jubilating, and by the time they came,
The results
the results had changed.
You remember MP3?
You see, I always tell people that, look, elections, until it is over, it is not over.
Very well. Very
So me, I don't go anywhere. I wait till I make sure that you should learn how to fast.
Indeed.
And you
Yeah.
should always put on gears that can help you pocket some
Snacks
support
and all that,
systems.
yeah.
You know what you are saying snack. I call it support,
Support
systems.
systems.
Yes.
And the primary document for every election result is the pink sheet.
The pink sheet.
And
Yeah.
the pink sheet is signed at the polling station.
Yeah.
And then your agent takes his phone and takes a picture or scans it, which he has signed that this is the true result, and
forwards
sends to
it to
you.
you. Yeah.
So if you really do a good job at your collation center, you don't need to wait for electoral commission to come and tell you that you've won or you've lost.
Very well.
Unless you are telling me that you don't trust your collation system, and if you don't trust your collation system, how are you going to trust what the electoral commission has done when you are going to accuse them that they tried to steal the election for somebody? How are you going to trust the electoral commission over your own results?
Exactly. Well, let me take a few quick messages and then we look at what Brian Agyapong has also been saying. Good morning, Nana. As Ghanaians are concerned, political parties, they should desist from that demonic character. We don't want an incorrigible leader. Okay. Good morning. I'm Okai from Bantama in the Center West District. Politics isn't just about power. It is about purpose. It is the art of turning a shared vision into reality. A true leader doesn't just talk about change. They embody it. They are the ones who listen to the whispers of the people, not just the shouts of the crowd. They build bridges where there are walls and find common ground in a landscape of division. The leader is Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. Let's all get connected. Hello, Mr. Elvis. I personally love your submissions. Keep it up. I love people who articulate their views on national matters without party affiliations. That's from Mr. Abel. Okay. Enoch Inafenya says, Enoch, okay, this is not in relation to what we are discussing. We'll look at that later. Alhaji Hamza Pig Farm says, good morning, my brother. Truth be told, I am worried and sad for the NPP party. The attacks and insults onto themselves will go a long way to destroy the NPP and even lead them to opposition in 2028. I don't think the NDC will be blamed if we turn around to use the same words they are using on themselves. But I am surprised the Council of Leaders or Elders are quiet and allowing this to go on. Abronya is all over the place attacking a particular candidate on behalf of one, and no one is calling him to order. NDC as a political party must learn from this, because very soon the heat will be on us, and then we shall see who is who. Abdul Mumin Wunam from Tamale. Good morning. The new Patriotic Party NPP is not just looking for a candidate to represent the party, but it is looking for a person who can win the 2028 elections with good leadership style in putting everyone together for victory, and that is Dr. Mahamudu Baumia. All right, so keep your messages coming in, and we'll do our best to read them. Now let's look at Brian Agyapong. He has some suggestions towards the fight against illegal mining, and he is asking for a 90-day ban on all forms of mining. Elvis, quick thoughts on this?
As I've said, look, all these suggestions, until we sit down and do a comprehensive and thorough job, and we come to a scientific proposal that this is what we have done so far. These are the shortfalls. If we have to win the fight, based on empirical evidence, this is the way we must go. All these suggestions will just be flying around the place, and it won't get. As I said, President Akufo-Addo put a ban for 18 months, almost 2 years. Yeah. We saw water bodies becoming cleaner. When it was lifted, where did we get to? That is where we are today. So if 18 months ban on all small-scale mining, we are here, we are. What is 3 months going to do? So I'm saying that all these things, everybody is trying to say something, and that shows how we are not serious about the fight. Because seriousness will come. As I said, if you ask me, I will not mind President Mahama tomorrow wake up and say, look, every effort in this thing is on hold for the next 6 months. We want to approach it scientifically, setting up this committee of experts, people who have not had anything to do with the fight. Let them do 3 things: review all past reports on the fight so far, get expert opinion from countries like Australia, that place where they have some measurable successes in the fight against Galamsey, so that we learn from what we can do, deploy independent researchers to Galamsey areas, let them talk to the people as to how they think this dangerous thing, we can deal with it properly, put the 3 together, do a master report, now come up with, this is where we are, this is what we can do. Let the president now come out and announce the new strategy, okay, as to how we are going to go about it, and then to help us. If that is done, the issue of whether we should have a ban, state of emergency, all this will be considered in the report of that committee that is going to do that way. So that when president comes out with what should be the way forward, everybody will see that this is an empirical way of doing something. And as I said, they have told us, and we all agree, that you cannot be doing the same things and expect a different result. You can ban it for 1 year. So 18 months didn't do it, 3 months, what will you do? You can declare state of emergency. If the state of emergency is declared, but the practical, empirical steps needed to be able to achieve some results is not taken, the state of emergency will remain on paper while the thing will get worse. So for me, I have said it. From 2009-10, President Mills complained about Galamsey, and 2016, 16 years plus down the line, we are where we are. You don't need anybody to tell that this is a failed fight. You don't need anybody. And that is why we shouldn't rush and keep pumping in resources. One thing, and I wish somebody would decide that we do this, that we should just compile the total money we have invested in the so-called fight and see how we are pumping in resources, yet the thing is getting worse. So how sense does it make for us to continue to pump in resources with the same method and strategy, and we all agree that despite everything, the thing is getting worse? Why do you want to continue to do the same thing? So I see, these are some of the things I will always say that, see, when we look for quick fixes, we will never solve anything. And for Ghana, if there's a problem with an issue, instead of facing it and fixing it, we think that we just need some quick fixes to run away from it, to create the impression as if we are solving it. Truth of the matter is that if we are where we are today, every Ghanaian must admit that what we have done in the past 16 years so far is a complete failure. That is why we are here. If we have had real successes, we will not be in this situation. And therefore, if we have to get real results that we can show, or every Ghanaian can see, then we need to take a total look at this thing and come up with something comprehensive. If Australia should give us advice, if other countries that have succeeded should tell us that, okay, this thing, these are some of the ways, this is how they did it. In your circumstances, probably, maybe because of the nature of your country, maybe this may not work, but maybe if you apply it this way, it may work. Let's get these things, okay? When you want to leapfrog, you copy what others have done. You don't necessarily have to invent the wheel. If others have succeeded, largely succeeded in any way, they have not been able to eradicate it, but they've made progress. It's what we have to do. I've told you here the last time, the whole world, fresh water source that humans can use is only 1% of a total water we have on Earth. So these fresh water sources we are destroying today, in 50 years' time, may fetch us more money than all the gold that is in our land. Because if the water is available, we may become the largest exporter of water in the world. When other countries need it, they will come to us. And when the water sources are protected and we are exporting water, we will make more money than whatever we are making from gold. And we should look at it from that perspective, that if it's money we want, the gold may be giving us some money today, but the fresh water sources could give us more money than water if we become a net exporter of water in the future. Let's be proactive about this thing, because what we are doing now, all the reports that have come out have clearly shown that, hey, whether you are in Accra, whether you are in my village, you will die from the effects of Galamsey. And probably maybe we are waiting to the day all of us are on the stretcher with kidney and liver diseases before we want to act. I don't know where we want to get to.
Very well. Honorable Van Apoy, so Brian Agyapong is also campaigning. I think he addressed the press yesterday after a tour of the Greater Accra region, and this is one of the things he said on the fight against illegal mining. He wants a 90-day ban on all forms of mining. Your thoughts?
Back to where I began. You are meeting people in Greater Accra. What are the issues that are confronting the MPP delegates in Greater Accra? You will not look at that one. Brian Agyapong is half Kwawu, half Achem. I will be expecting him to first go to his hometown in Achem and end Galamsey there. End Galamsey there. You understand? Tell the youth to stop Galamsey, I will employ you. End it there, then he can talk about Galamsey. I think this is something that I've said for the past 1 week, that if all of us will have a commitment that we're going back to where we come from and to be able to talk the youth out of this, if all of us will be committed, chiefs, opinion leaders, people like me, Seth, Elvis, you, Nana, sitting here, if all of us will go back to those places and talk to people and let them understand the ramifications and the dangers inherent in what they are doing, it will, in a way, resolve them. Because, you see, this is Seth standing in front of his own people, who may involve his nephews and some of his younger brothers, and talking to them. Bro, this thing you are doing, that's the reason why Mami Ekuye's son was born with a deformity.
Yeah.
These are the dangers involved in it. It will have more effect. So I'll be expecting Brian Agyapong to go to Etiwa, go to Suhum, go to those areas where the Birim River is virtually being extinct. Talk to them, engage with them, and let them understand the dangers involved in what they are doing.
Yes.
But if you come to stand in front of delegates from Greater Accra, a poor fisherman from my constituency who is a delegate, and you want to talk to him, you're talking about Galamsey. You are not telling him anything.
To be fair, he was addressing the media after his store. So yesterday he held a press conference.
So he was addressing the media after his store.
Yes, he had engaged, finished his tour of the region.
Accra.
He had finished his tour of the region. And before leaving the region, he organized a press conference
and talk
yesterday.
about Galamsey.
One
he
of the
didn't
issues
talk about the issues that the delegates gave him. Issue of Premex. And those things that confront the people in Greater Accra. Those are the issues I would want to, because at the end of it all, most of the delegates in Greater Accra are either in fishing or in business, trade facilitation. MVP delegates in my constituency, for example, most of them are within Katamanto UTC. Those are the things I would want to relate to.
Right.
How I will facilitate your businesses, how I make sure that your trade. Those are the things if I were him.
You think the messages should be area specific?
That is what
it should be tailored to suit the constituency you are addressing.
That is what it's meant to be, because you can't go and meet mechanics and be talking about football or fishing. You understand?
Right.
You see, that I'm saying they are all not focusing on what they are talking as if they've already won the primaries and they are candidates. You understand?
Right.
But you should know that you are going to move from step 1 to step 2.
So that's the disparity you have seen in there.
Yes.
That they are speaking as though they are already flag bearers.
If Baumia is the one saying these things, I will excuse him, because he's been vice president before. You understand? So he is now addressing some of the lapses within his government, or the things that he thought did not go well, and how he will correct them. So he's asking the people to give him the opportunity to correct some of the mistakes he did. I will understand. But not Brian Agyapong going to meet delegates in Accra, Greater Accra, and finishing and talking about. When you meet media, after meeting delegates, when you meet media, the relevance of this thing should be what I told the delegates.
And the feedback you got.
And the feedback I got from the delegates. If you come out, I heard him saying that if elections are conducted in Greater Accra today, he's sure he will win. Well,
why isn't that feedback?
Sir John.
Fear delegates.
Sir John, I've seen elections before in this country, and Sunyani, I was really, really involved in Sunyani. After we've done our work, I could sit down and tell the other candidate who was contesting, Professor Mills, that you will get 3%. And the person got 3%. Yes. I told her in the face, I said, you will get 3%. The best thing for you is to concede now. And let's avoid all this, because else, if we vote, you will get 3%. And this one, everybody in the NDC knows.
Wow.
You understand? Because we look at the delegates, we've met the delegates, we've talked to them one-on-one. We know what their interests are, their desires are, and we met those things. So people should be focused on messages that will impact the lives of the delegates they are meeting. But on the issue of Galamsey, let me be frank with you. I said it here last time. Whatever President Mahama will do to end Galamsey in this country, I, Nilante, will support it. Whatever measure, whatever step he takes, because I've been traveling around the country. Even as we see today, I'm talking to the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources to see how DRIP could be of benefit to the whole program.
Yeah.
So, for example, if they are able to drive people off this area, we'll go in and just level the whole place, put in black soil, get the people from forestry to start planting. You understand? So that we can effectively. So, like what we are seeing now, if we go there with our equipment, we just level the whole place, district by district, because every district has equipment. So they just move in, because the road work is not going to be continually every day throughout the year.
True.
So, like this rainy season where we're having this thing, our equipment can go in, level the whole place. Once they go in and drive the people away, we just go and level the whole place, put the black soil and these things on it, and get the forestry gang to move in and start planting. So it is something, it's part of the measure that government is adopting.
Right.
We had a meeting on that one. And I don't know, Elvis is a bad boy. I'm sure he has gotten, I'm sure he's gotten the document that the government talk about, mention about Australia and all those measures. Yes, that is what.
Elvis, we have some inside information.
That's Australia. President mentioned it.
He mentioned it.
When he made his
He's a journalist. He will never disclose his source. He will never disclose his source.
We don't, actually. Then perhaps you are the source.
No, you see, if all of us as a country, I just don't see this as political, will look at these measures, the ones Elvis have mentioned. It's like he's having a copy of the book. And we support the system. I think all of us. The president means well. And as it happened under Nanado, sometimes it is not the president, but the people around the game. You understand?
Benefiting from that.
I said it last, I am very convinced about Amabue's commitment. I'm very convinced about Kennedy's desire to say, he is somebody, he's an Achimba guy.
Right.
But look at the work he sent his Namos team to do in the Achim area. A lot of people are testifying that they're seeing some difference in the Brim River. Yesterday I read something that Koyako Waterworks is resuming because there is some level of change in the Ayensu River.
Yeah.
It is something that we all should be committed to. Because Ghana, the complexity of our culture is said that sit here, I have a relation in Ayensu Akon. Every city in Accra, he has a relation in the Volta region, Ashanti region. That is how it is. So, as I can say, you may sit down and think that you throwing a stone, but you actually throwing a stone onto your own forehead.
Yeah.
You may think that you are doing something, no, but you don't know that you are creating a situation where a relation, a family of yours will be the recipient, and he will enjoy the consequences of the action. So whether it's good or bad, somebody else will receive it. I think this fight must now be taken, and let's all agree. And I think, like you people did some time ago, the media should focus on some of the... You see, we are not telling the world, telling the people involved in this. We are just looking at the issue. The consequences, those are the dire consequences of their actions.
Yeah.
Look, we've seen reports, people saying that now 2 out of 10 births in the Ashanti region, in the Western region, are suffering from one deformity or the other. How many people in this our world will want to think or want to have a child with the eye on the forehead? We are not an alien society. How many people want to have children with 3 limbs? You understand? Those are the things that are coming out through studies. And those are the pictures we must show to the people and let them understand that these are the consequences of your action.
True.
But if we only talk about stop Galamsey, we're talking only about water bodies.
Yeah.
No, the health implications are very, very dangerous. It gets to a time the people themselves, man, unless those who are not Ghanaians and are involved in it, who will not know the consequences of what they are doing. Either to our communities, when some people are born with deformities like that, those people are not permitted to live.
Indeed. Yeah.
Today, we are having these things in abundance, and we are keeping quiet because the money people are making. No, it shouldn't be so.
Indeed. 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 All right.
Galamseyers themselves, I watched a documentary done by a foreign media house, and Galamseyers themselves are dying of several terminal illnesses because of the mercury and things they are using for the process. It's actually been entering them, and they are dying. So you see, those who think they are making money today, 10 years from now, you may be the same person who will be on the stretcher with your kidney and everything destroyed because of the chemicals you are applying. Maybe the financier sitting in Accra was bought the bulldozer and is collecting, the excavator. Maybe that one may be a little bit safer. But you see, as I said, school has reopened. You are in Accra, your child in school in Cape Coast. It's in Akumasi, it's in almost every community. People have sent their children. What water are they drinking there? Is that same Galamsey water they are drinking? What food are they being served? The food produced in the community, what is being served to them. So maybe in Accra and be the owner of the excavator, But your child in school in the University of Cape Coast or any secondary school in Cape Coast, Ashanti, Eastern region, will become a victim of your own greed for the money you are collecting. So let's look at the thing from a holistic point of view, rather than thinking that I'm rich, I'm in Accra, I bought 20 excavators, and somebody is using it and I'm collecting money. It could come and hurt you yourself.
Right.
A friend of mine came to me and he said he wanted a change in the school placement. I said, which school was it? He said, Prempe. I said, and you want a change? I said, my son will not go to Ashanti region and go and eat food, laden with mercury and all those things.
Yeah.
He prefers the child to be in Accra. You understand? So there are consequences, and I want the media, I want all of us to focus on those things. And when people become aware.
But Accra, we are not safe. Because almost all the fresh food, vegetables, cassava, everything is coming from the eastern region.
The water we depend on.
It's coming from the eastern region. And the eastern region is into serious Galamsey. All of us who drink from Weja Dam, the source of the water is from the eastern region. And the serious mining where the source of the Weja Dam, there's a lot of serious mining going on there. So even Accra, you are not safe. Everything we are eating now is grown on a land where some Galamsey or chemicals is used.
Indeed. Go back and settle in the eastern region.
Yes, I'll come to you, but I need to take a break here. But this message caught my attention. It says there's no problem without solutions. What are our engineers doing about Galamsey issue? Well, we the engineers drafted a proposal to combat this problem. These mining activities can go on without destroying our water bodies. Government could get in touch for this laudable proposal. And your name is Engineer Nimakon.
You mean they have the proposal and they are keeping it?
Yes.
And the government gets in touch with them?
Engineer Nimakun, I think we need to find ways to present same proposal to government. So we'll take a break here, but keep your messages coming in. When we come back, we'll hear from the Honorable Seth Agyapong. Well, he's a former minister of the Eastern region. So we'll hear from him on this particular matter. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Grateful that you stayed on with us. Let's do a few of your messages and then we go to the Honorable Seth Agyapong for his thoughts on this matter. Okay, so your messages are cutting across the previous discussion and the current one. So we will do a summary of all. This one says, good morning, Nana Boating. Nana, we delegates in Ghana have taken our decision already. It doesn't matter whether Ashanti, Northern or not. We don't want to suffer to market any candidate. We only know Dr. Baumia. This is Abdul Samed Zengaru. Galamsey destroys Ghana's environment, pollutes rivers and depletes fertile lands. It endangers lives, causes health problems, and weakens the economy by damaging farmlands and water resources. Communities suffer from poverty and displacement. Stopping Galamsey is vital to protect our natural heritage, secure sustainable livelihoods, and preserve Ghana's future generations. That's from A. Bell. Good morning, Senior. My name is Awana Shakor. Kindly inform Honorable Nilante that there's no single Galamsey site in Suhum. Suhum is not part of the Galamsey constituency we have in this country. Hey, well, let me come to Honorable Seth Agyapong and find out from him. We're being told that there's not a single Galamsey site in Suhum.
In Suhum town itself.
Constituency.
Unless you talk about the Suhum constituency.
Is this constituency?
Yeah, the Suhum constituency. It may be some areas where it is bordering. You would have maybe sand winners. You see, when we talk about Galamsey, no more often people believe and think that we're only talking about gold.
Right.
There are heavy Galamseys in sand winning from Nsam all through to Suhum, which is a major, threat to the environment as well in the area. So more often when I listen to Galamsey conversations, people are only looking at
the gold.
The gold.
Only the gold. No. Even limestone in areas where people, every illegal mining activity is Galamsey. All right. I think my brother, Honorable Brian Agyapong, maybe from his experience as a former Minister of State at the National Security and Deputy Minister for Interior, maybe would have some discussions that were held during his time, as well as becoming the Greek minister. May have some knowledge. That's why he's talking about the 90 days. In Ghana today, everybody is speaking to us, helping to, and I think as a stakeholder as well, he also is able to speak his mind on the way forward as to how we can, end this menace. Galamsey is indeed destroying us, like my brothers have already stated. the wager is coming from the river Densu. When you cross in Sawam, Densu, the river Densu you see, that's the one that comes wager for us to have water in this part of Accra to be treated. Apart from all the water we drink in Accra is all coming from the eastern region.
Right.
The one coming from the eastern corridor is coming from Bon, which is also the water which is coming in eastern region. Likewise, the western corridor here is coming from the eastern region, Densu, and then the extension even into western region, Ayensu, is all coming from the eastern region. So sometimes when we are discussing Galamsey, for some of us, the reason why we are so concerned is the eastern region is a very prime region for this country. And I always say, if you live in the eastern region, it's like you are living in Greater Accra. Most people don't know that Greater Accra was carved out of the Eastern Province. And the Eastern Province is primarily where we may call today the Eastern region. And we should know that Koforidua is the closest regional capital to the Greater Accra region. So Eastern region has a special relationship with Greater Accra. But I'm not talking about Eastern region. I'm talking about the actions that is going on in Eastern region. And I pray and hope that, like Nee said, for me, I have not changed my stance, and I'll never change that stance. I want to live healthy in Ghana. My experiences have taught me so many destinations, but I still love my country, Ghana, and believe this is the best place for me to grow and nurture my children. And so I would do anything and everything which will bring some sanity into that space. I would always speak to it. Some may agree with me, some may not agree with me. But I believe that the most important thing for all of us to do as a country is what Nee was talking about. We need some heavy civic education. We need to engage our people very well and truthfully. And we must be very honest with our actions. Because if you come and tell me A and you go and practice C, I lose faith in you and I don't trust your actions anymore. So all of us coming together to fight this menace, yes. However, I would not be happy when after we have all supported and helped, somebody will jump. And like I was listening to Elvis, he said, we have failed as a country in the last 16 years. And I said, this is something that I also see as a challenge because collectively, we've not been able to nip this thing in the bud since it became a major worry to this country. And it is something we have to stand firm as a country and say, like we're able to say no to drugs. I have a lot of my friends who visit Ghana and they ask you, this country, few people smoke. Most people don't smoke. And I said, yes, our culture is such that people don't like smoking. The conversation and the campaigns against anti-smoking is really gone well for people to have a buy-in. We should also have a solid nationalistic campaign. I always say that rally around the flag of America is something that I always pray that all of us would have that spirit, rally around the red, gold, green, and the black star. Because this is the country we have. And I'll not, if you've been following me, I won't come and sit here and say that it is NDC who is doing Galamsey or it's NPP who is doing Galamsey. The people who are doing Galamsey are Ghanaians. Why are they doing Galamsey? We should find out. They're doing Galamsey because maybe to them, that is how they can earn a living. And is it the right way? And so if it is not the right way, alternative livelihood supports, what are we doing as a people? What conversations are we putting before them? That's what I mean by civic education. Not just civic education, go and tell them, stop. Because if you just say that, the cocoa farmer whose next door sold their farmlands to the Galamseyers, bought a house, bought a vehicle, and those tangibles in our system are seen as success. So who would they want to go for that success?
True.
But is that how we want to run our country? Is that the belief of our people? When they bought those properties, 10 years down the line, are they able to maintain those properties? Are they able to stand on their feet again? So over a period, research is very important. How are we helping our people get educated to understand that that transient wealth is not what will sustain us as a country and as a people. And so for me, anything to help fight Galamsey, I'm for that. We have to fight Galamsey.
Very well, very well. All right, let's jump into the matter of AT Ghana. Yesterday, the minority on the Communication and Information Committee held a press conference, and they are kicking against what generally we're beginning to call a merger. But the Communication Minister says no, it is a restructuring, not a merger. The minority think this is an unholy marriage. Elvis, let me start from you. Well, we had talks of Rectron showing interest. Then now we're hearing of, if you like, the government tilting towards Telecom in this particular restructuring. Your thoughts on this? The minority is against it, is kicking against it. From where you sit and what you've read so far, what do you make of this marriage?
Well, I think we have to set the records that this arrangement is because AT is financially broke. And ever since the previous owners left it and government took over, in 2022 there was a Deloitte move by government to get a partner to get AT working. They went to the process, 3 companies shortlisted. Because we went into COVID, because there were some comments and all that, the first 2 companies decided that they were no longer interested. The third company is a Ghanaian-owned called Afritel. So when there was a change of government, Sam George came. Despite all his comments as a ranking member at the time against all that the previous minister was doing, he also decided that, oh, it's a good move because it needs support. So he decided that he would go ahead and deal with Afritel to see how they can help. So Afritel brought on board Rectron as their financial partner to do the deal. So he, as Sam George, actually approached Afritel and said he's giving them 60 days in an MOU that KPMG should do all the assessment of their bid as to whether it's the best option. So they offered that they will give $150 million for 60% of 80. The government of Ghana will keep the 40%. And KPMG did all the work, including verifying whether the company is financially sound in order to inject capital into AT for it to function.
Right.
By 28 days to the end of the deadline, the minister started flip-flopping and started making announcements whether there was going to be a merger, there was no way a merger. So the whole thing became a little bit murky. And then no more communication with the Rectron as to what has happened. I think the minister, for whatever reason, could have easily said that, though I have done direct contact with you, I think I want to change the process rather and look for more partners. If the minister had openly said that, I don't think that we will be where we are. But all of a sudden, the stock of 80. So I think what the minority has said, they've raised valid issues. We have had mergers of telecoms. That is why we were from about 6 or 7 or something. We keep changing. We got to 5, 2 have merged, we got to 3. So now we have Telecom, MTN, and 80.
80 itself is a measure.
It's a measure. But all the measures and all these things, all the measures and these things have really not worked that much, because the bottom line is that the investment needed to make them that really powerful have never materialized. That is why MTN keeps expanding, because they keep investing regularly. So the solution to 80 the minority, which is a fact, is that 80 problem is not a technical problem. 80 has all the technical experts and everything. Their biggest problem is money. So if a deal like Rectron Afritel is bringing the money, Airtel will function and function effectively, and then will bring the kind of competition in the system that will make sure that the telcos compete effectively to benefit the ordinary consumer. And for Telecom, the argument which is also right is that, first of all, when they took over the Vodafone, they promised that they were going to invest about $500 million.
Right.
2 years into the takeover, the investment they've done is just about $10 million. So they are also not pumping. That's why Telecom is also struggling. On top of that, OAT has debt, Telecom also has debt. So the question is, debt and debt to struggling companies, when you put them together, where will the money come from to invest?
Right.
When somebody has the money to do invest, and it's giving you government 60% of the asset, is giving you $150 million. That is direct money for the equity. Before it to talk about investing in the next 5 years, they are also considering about $1 billion because they saw MTN did that for 5 years, where they invested $200 million every year. And it's really what has brought MTN the past 5 years to where it is. And they are even investing more. So the issue is it money that is the problem? The answer is yes. So the question is, if you go and add Airtel, Telecom to 80 and there's no investment, where will the money come from? Because even though the talk of Telecom and issues have come up, nobody has been able to say that Telecom is going to invest this much for the next 5 years, capital injection. Nobody is able to tell what percentage of shares of government will be. Because remember, government already owns 30% of Telecom.
Yes.
So if you are taking 100% of 80, which is also owned by government, to go and add to Telecom, then what percentage will government own there? Right. When government owns shares in this, we know government, when there's a cash call for investment, government will not have the money. You need a private partner to have them. So if government go and add more shares, it's not going to be the one doing the investment. Where will Telecom get the money? When from their own background and promises of $500 million investment, they have done less than 10 million. So the argument is that if you should give it to another struggling company, the challenge is that the people have the technical expertise to run 80 successfully, and they are doing that.
Right.
But what they need is money. So if there's a deal coming in from a company that has proven, they provided all the documents to KPM to prove that they have the money to invest, why would you want to abandon that deal and go somewhere else? And I think that these are some of the things we need to look at. See, we always talk about investment, and our presidents will travel all around the world asking investors to come. But when investors come, the way sometimes we treat them, it's a problem. Because if you look at the restaurant, it's listed on 2 stock exchanges, Frankfurt and Canada, though it's a UK company. The company trades in commodity is very rich. Ghana is a commodities country, producing country. If you're having a company that is a commodity, they are looking for diversification, and they chose Telecom and they want to invest in your country, and everything shows that they have the money. I think that we should deal with them in a certain way that even in the event that they don't even get the 80 deal, we can even look at options and say that, look, since we are into commodities and we also produce commodities, maybe you can help us do so many other things. I've said it, Gold Board, as we speak, we've staffed it with people, but we need to have experts in commodity trading to staff Gold Board, because see, today gold prices are only going up, so we think that but when prices begin to fluctuate, you need a lot of expert knowledge to be able to run Gold Board. These are areas we can say, can you do, if you want to diversify, what about value addition to our gold? And will you want to? I think that with the capacity of that company called Rectron, I think that we should even be looking beyond 80 and other things that we believe that the company has done successfully and can do well for all of us. And you see, the Telecom, there's no talk of what will happen to the workers of 80. Because the Telecom, there's really like anything offer. But for the Rectron, they've actually provided a roadmap. They are absorbing all the workers. They will invest this amount. They will buy 60% of the shares and give government of Ghana 150 million, which will be so valuable to 80 because it owes so much. If you look at their debt to the tower company,
that's about $400 million
so
debt.
They need a lot of money to be able to pay their back debt. So I think that the advice the minority has given, if you look at their presentation, they actually brought the issues up about Telecom, 80, why the Rectron. I think that the government should take a critical look. And as I'm saying, even beyond 80, government should look at this as a commodities company. They are very rich. They say they want to diversify. Are there other opportunities in the Ghanaian economy that if we give them 80, we can even convince them to actually pump in money into other areas?
Let me hear from Honorable Van Apoy on this matter. What do you think may be happening?
This is interesting. I'm going back to my days as a journalist when we were involved in this Ashanti Gold and Rand Gold drama. You remember that funny drama? Meanwhile, people created the whole drama for us as a country. We were dancing to the song, but people were benefiting financially. From parliament to people within government circles and journalists. Yeah, there were a lot of journalists who were bought by these entities to do the advocacy for them. People in parliament, MPs were bought. There was this division for the first time, I saw even within one caucus, 2 different groups, depending on where your bread is being battered.
Right.
There were people who went on a visit to South Africa, you know, and came back with very, very nice
sponsored visits.
Sponsored visit. They came back with safari packages.
Hey, I don't know. He's a journalist and member of us.
Exactly.
He's getting the information
Insider info.
So, you know, it's an interesting thing, and within the communications setup, we've had so many of these things. We've seen these measures and this absorption and all those things, and it's still a problem.
Right.
But I said, all this is because our sister, Eslausu, right from the time she took the decision to merge Airtel and Tigo, did not give Ghanaians the opportunity to transparently see what is involved.
Okay.
Several times there were questions in Parliament. She actually refused to come to Parliament to answer those questions. Several times. To the extent that Speaker even cautioned her. And that day, I remember it was not Speaker himself, but the first Deputy Speaker, Honorable Eslausu, who was the chair. And he wasn't happy about the fact that he has consistently refused to come to the House to answer questions pertaining to that measure. Esla knew everything about Telecom. So I'm saying that all this drama is happening because of the steps that were taken some time ago. We did not open up the whole discussion for all of us to be able to critically analyze, study, and say, oh, this particular offer will be in the best interest of the nation. I would want to say that as far as this one is concerned, it is not sewn up. According to the minister, KPMG, they say KPMG is doing a critical analysis to get a strategic partner. A strategic partner to handle 80. 80 was brought in by Esla, and she brought in Telcel too. So I want to see.
No, 80 was not any investor. They were just merged.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I said she brought it up. She put the two together. And up to today, you and I do not know what accounted for that. We do not know the principles under which that directive was given or that decision was taken up to today. And government at the time did not really, because in Parliament several times we asked the question, give us some little information. ABF Husseini, being the ranking member at that time, twice stood on the floor of the House and asked simple questions. The committee asked for questions. The minister did not respond to those things. So I'm saying that this is what has created the whole murky field that today we are having doubt about certain entities coming up. But I'm happy that we're talking about trying to save a good potential Ghanaian company from dying. All that Elvis has said, I have no problem with that. But I'm saying that for now, the minister says that a study is being done by KPMG. I'm hoping that unlike Eslausu, when the study has finished and KPMG has brought the report, he will afford all of us the opportunity to scrutinize that report and take a decision and know, so that when he is finally sewing up anything, we'll appreciate where he's coming from. Then if we have to advise, we can. Because, look, I saw the time when this Libya Arab company was taking over Ghana Telecom. You remember those days?
Yeah.
They said they were going to absorb all the workers, they're going to expand, they're going to make it more efficient. And
So
what
many
happened?
promises. Yeah.
No. So
Is there one touch or something?
yes.
One touch,
You understand? So these things have happened before, and we must learn from experience. I want to see some judge coming out telling that, look, after KPMG's analysis, this is what they have said. Any strategic investor should bring this amount of money up front. This is what we are going to do. We are giving timelines as to your next investment. If within 6 months you have not invested this much money, we'll cut you out. The agreement is off.
Yeah.
We must have clear these things, and then we can all appreciate.
Right.
We don't want the situation whereby one person will take the decision on behalf of all of us, because this is a very strategic national asset.
True.
And all of us must be interested in
Very
it.
well. Honorable Agyapong,
I'm not going to say anything different from what the two of them have said. First, from experience, he talked about the diversification in this country. We've politicized it, be it being done by a proper corporate governance structure, getting right people to negotiate the deals. Elvis spoke about experts, where I think we have not used enough of our professionals.
Right.
Who is a transaction advisor to the ministry? These are things that you require experts, and just not just ordinary experts, but experts who are quite current, because trade, each and every day there are trade going on globally.
Yes.
And so for me, in as much as I believe in the call of the minority, that we need transparency. Me and Ursula, I don't want to. They are Greater Accra people.
Yeah.
And so they, any matter that
She's my sister.
any
It's a family matter.
Any matter me will come and deal with the sister. Esther happens to come from the Eastern region
What
as
you
well.
don't know is that she was in Sabah Hall and A, room 111. I was in Sabah Hall and SB, room 111.
Wow.
But as
These
a matter of
politicians,
fact,
if you don't know their secrets, you don't know where they
but
come from.
as a matter of fact, like we said, we've said some Jonah today is being held in this country. When AGC was going through her worries, one side bashed up Ghana Telecom when it was going to transition, when we're selling some shares. Today, another network in the media house. I used to watch movies at where we now called TV3. There was a movie theater there.
Gamma House.
Gamma House.
It was diversified. And so we've gone through most of these things. And I think that as a people, we must learn to do things right. So in as much as I may not share in all what is happening, at the same time, I want the best for Ghana.
Right.
I must say Ghana first is very important to me.
Indeed.
And I want to advise that we should do things and get them right. Because at the end of the day, if you get to know that industry, the monopoly which is emerging, because it's a business, I can't mention business names, but gradually a monopoly is emerging. And I hate monopoly. It's akin to autocratic rule.
True.
So I hate that. We need some competition. And we, as the people who regulate the market and who are the custodians of the market, because we consume, our economy will do well if we manage this thing very well. Because repatriation of funds by these entities, when people have brought foreign direct investment into your country, yes, you'll be happy you're seeing money, but they'll be repatriating their monies back. And in no time, you'll find the volatility of your currency.
True.
So you realize that your monetary policy, even though your central bank will be doing well to manage it very well, it will still be facing issues. And they would have to carry huge sums of money to go and support your currency.
True.
And it will be affecting suppliers who are also the people you are withdrawing, you are collecting the monies from, mobilizing monies from. So some of these decisions, we have to be very forthright and do Mother Ghana the best. I will not come and just raise red herrings when I see it as work in progress. I'm not in, and I believe in what minority is saying, but let us follow the narrative very well. And let's get right transaction advisors to advise government so that we get value for money and purpose for the Republic of Ghana.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. We'll have to leave it here, and but keep the conversations going on. We are very active on social media. Use the hashtag Breakfast Daily while tweeting at us on X. Thank you to the Honorable Seth Agyapong. Thank you to the Honorable Nilante Vanderpoy. Thank you to Elvis Adakon. I am Nanatu Boateng. The show continues with Jude Duncan and Chris Akata after this.